So, welcome to my channel. My name's Claire and I've got something really exciting to share with you today, if you're into sewing, that is. So this is for the sewers in you. Now, I've got involved in a challenge. It's a sewing challenge and everybody can join in if you can sew, and there are prizes involved. Now, I will admit I found out about this quite late in the day, so I've had to kind of rush something together, but I've had a dig around and I think I've got some ideas I can share with you, so you know, to give you a bit of inspiration if you want to do this challenge as well. Now, if you don't know me, you're new here, because I might get some new people pop along today. I run two series of videos on YouTube, one called the Stitch Diaries, that's basically been my main thing on YouTube since I started my channel, all about my sewing, knitting and crocheting, and a few other crafts thrown in, but predominantly sewing, dressmaking, toy making, bag making, that kind of thing. But I also run a series of videos called the Doll Diaries. So if you notice, there's a few Harry Potter dolls, Barbie dolls and things behind me, as well as rick-rack and stitchy things. You'll understand why it's a bit of a mixture of things behind me. So now this challenge, it's called Sew Upcycle 22. I'll put a picture up on the screen for you to see of all the prizes that you can win, and the prizes have been donated by Sew Essential. They're actually not that far from me, actually. I haven't been there, but I know they're in the Midlands somewhere. Rainbow Fabrics, So Different, Jennifer Lauren Handmade, Felicity Fabrics, Minerva, Sew Over It, In a Haystack, Crafty So and So, also in the Midlands but in the East Midlands, Waves and Wild, Bornella Fabrics, Friday Pattern Company, I think that's Iso Sew Studio, I'm not quite sure. A lot of these names I'm very familiar with, but there are a few that I don't know. Bobbins and Buttons, The Dressmaker's Closet. Is that Canva? I think there's one that says Canva. I'm not too sure. It's a bit small. Do you know the one where it looks like a little half of a pattern piece of a top in a kind of blushy orange colour? I can't quite read it. There's by Graziella Fabrics and Tilly and the Buttons. So that's fantastic, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you all about this challenge. So it's make an upcycled garment. Use something other than new fabric. So what they're saying there is, you could use, a blanket, bed sheet. It could be another garment that maybe that you can get pattern pieces out of this garment. Say if you went to a charity shop and bought a bigger garment and then you cut out things out of it. It could be something like that, or you could refashion a garment from the charity shop maybe, or another family member. The guys' clothes are quite good for that, because usually, I know it's not always the case, but men are normally like they're broader shoulders and things, aren't they? So sometimes we can get our pattern pieces out of it. Just depends, doesn't it? Unless you've got a very tiny guy in your life, I suppose. It's a bit of a silly thing for me to say, really, isn't it? But in my case, I can use my husband's things. So you have to include a before photo of what you used. These are the rules, basically. And you reveal your garment on the 31st of October. And you've got to tag Becky, who is at Notes from the Sewing Room. Hopefully you're seeing this up on the screen as I'm looking at it. And Karen from at So Little Time. Now, I've never met them, but I know Becky and Karen, and they're running this challenge. So yes, remember to tag those and post your garment before and after. Before and after. Now, there are some rules here. I'm going to put them up on the screen. Obviously, I'll read them out just in case you can't see them very well. It depends on how big your screen is. But number one is to make a garment for yourself or someone else. Sorry, no pet makes. Number 2, you can use a tablecloth, a curtain, a bedspread, an old worn make, or RTW piece of clothing. What does that mean? RTW. Comment below, please, if you know what that means. RTW. I'm really sorry, but I don't know what that means, but hopefully somebody will know. Actually, if you're in this challenge and you know what that means, please comment so my viewers can understand what it means. And it says, or buy something from a charity shop if needed, or raid a family-friend member's wardrobe. Then number 3, obviously get permission. Don't get raiding and don't ask them. So number 3, then hashtag SewUpcycle22 WIP for if you want to do sneak peeks. So say if you're so excited about this thing you're doing, you can post sneaky peeks up on social media. It hasn't said here. I'm guessing this is on Instagram. I don't know if this is on Facebook. I will find out for you and I'll pop it up on the screen if it's an Instagram only or a Facebook, or you can do it on both. I'm not sure. But it says, ensure you show a photo of what you use to make your garment. Reveal your make on the 31st of October using hashtag SewUpcycle22 and tag Becky and Karen. Notes from the sewing room and at so little time. Okay, so is that all the housekeeping out of the way? Is there anything else? I've took some and today the vloggers today that are also doing this is Sally, the Secret Life of the Seamstress, and Andrea of Andrea Makes, and obviously Claire who makes things. That's me. Hence, Claire who makes things. I never really wanted it to say, you know, clothes, bags, because I make everything. I make everything. So I just had to say things. Right, so... Right, now I've taken some pictures. Well, not taken some pictures. I've got some photographs of things that I've upcycled over time. Now, maybe I'll show some of the more recent ones and work backwards, but I've been doing this a long time. You know, upcycling is my thing, basically. So this is a prime example. Now, this is a dress I bought from Freeman's catalogue. I felt, I didn't feel all that great in it, really. Yeah, it just felt a bit too long. Not saying I don't like something this long, but yeah, it didn't really, it kind of did, it hung in the wrong places. It felt all kinds of wrong. So you're seeing a photograph of me standing one side then the other side. I know I've got more photographs of this, but unfortunately I couldn't find them. Well, basically, what I did with this is I ended up, because it had like an empire line, but I think I cut it off. I made the skirt narrower, I made the bodice narrower, and I also turned the sleeves into cap sleeves. And I remember I sewed the skirt back on, and you can't see this in this photograph, but I'll try and get the other photograph. I actually did a little bit of ruching at the front, and I changed the neckline from what I remember. But unfortunately, the photographs I'm looking at the moment, I'm standing the same way. So I'll send you over to what I did to it. Yeah, so that's what I did. But unfortunately, these photographs don't show the front. So yeah, I'll go back to how it looked, and then I'll go to how it ended up. And yeah, so I'm really delighted with it. And if I can get the photographs of it at the front, I will do. It might have been that I did a video for YouTube. This is on YouTube at some point. So that's a prime example. I've took a garment that, you know, I wasn't going to wear.
I'm having trouble understanding right now. Please try a little later.
Sorry, I'm having internet trouble at home, so Alexa keeps telling me she's having trouble right now, but it's because she's not on the internet, so I don't know if you heard that, but I apologise. So here I've got a photograph that I've posted on social media. It's a before and after. I think I bought a kid's t-shirt. I didn't feel all that feminine in it really. I know it's not masculine, but I didn't feel that feminine. So I ended up making the sleeves probably very tiny, even would you call that capped, or it's very, very tiny, isn't it? I actually made the neck hole bigger and did a fold over neck, and I left the bottom as it is. And you know what, I'll send a photograph of me wearing it. I don't have a photograph of me wearing it before, and basically that was me wearing my Avery leggings that I'd made by Helen's Closet, wearing that t-shirt that I'd you know, upcycled. Actually, I'm wearing something that I've made today. It's the Toaster sweater. Is it the Toaster? By Nina Lee. It's definitely the Nina Lee sweater. Toaster, isn't it? I've made the dress version of this, and I've made the cropped jumper. And sorry if I'm looking a bit of a mess. I've been figure skating this morning. I didn't wear this figure skating, but I have got my figure skating things, just my practice wear underneath. But I just put this jumper on when I got home to film this video. So yes, so I thought I'd mention that. Now this next make, oh gosh, I'm so proud of this. I really love this make. This is a dress, so I'll put the photograph, the before and after is in this. So it's a dress that my mum gave me. Now my mum is a larger size than I am, and it's basically just a vest kind of dress, very long. It didn't really do much for me, it sort of hung off me a bit, so I basically made it smaller. And I ended up actually there's a gap in the front, and I've got elastic there, and I made ties and things with the bit, the excess I cut off. Now I have spoke about this more in detail. Actually, I think I took you all along the journey of me trying to decide what to do with this dress, and nothing was working. So yeah, I've actually ended up with a front, from what I remember, I've got a centre seam now to achieve what I was trying to achieve. But yeah, there is a video somewhere on YouTube. Unfortunately I can't remember which one, but yeah, but yes, that went really well. But again, that was upcycled. Now this one, could you class it as an upcycle? I bought this dress, if you look on the lady on the right, that's how it looked when I bought it. I made it shorter. I basically took the ruffle off, made it shorter, and then sewed the ruffle back on, and I made the ruffle a little bit smaller. So, you know, that's a mini upcycle, isn't it? And I wore that to my auntie's wedding. So now the next one, unfortunately I haven't got a photograph of the before, but it looked very similar. If I just go back to the dress, that other upcycle dress, the dress looked very much like this, but it was a different colour. But I'll send you over to what I made, and basically I made a vest with it. I couldn't really get all that much out of it. I think it was a little bit narrower, and I was having to be really careful with these stripes and things, but yes, I got a little vest out of it. Then another upcycle garment I've done, it was actually a baggy pajama top. So again, this is the before and after shot together. It was a baggy pajama top. It had a stain in it, didn't really like it that much. Wasn't all that keen on the neck, and I ended up making a little short sleeve ondi sweater by Deer and Doe, and it's the version that's basically got the short sleeves and the collar. Now the collar is supposed to be jersey. Mine was woven because I was making this outfit for Burns night, and because it was woven and it wasn't going to stretch, mine has a bow on the back, so it's kind of attached around the front, but at the back it's loose, so I can basically undo the bow just to get it on and off my head, and then I just do up the bow at the back. So that's you know, a bit of pajama upcycling. Now you're not allowed to do any pet things to be eligible for any prizes, but if you are interested in upcycling for your pet, this is an example of some things I've done. Now I took this old jumper of my husband's, I'll pop that on the screen, and I made like a hooded dog jumper with it, with a little buttonhole in the back so I could put her harness through it. So I'll show you a picture of it from two angles, one's underneath and one is on top, and then a photograph of Holly on my youngest son's bed, sitting from the side. side with that on. So, and then I'll stay on pets for a moment and then I'll go back to things I've done for myself. I've also cut up my husband's jeans and made little dog jackets for my little chihuahuas, Holly and Rafe. So one looks a bit, one's red and denim for my little boy dog Rafe, and the other one is denim and more pink and floral for my girl dog Holly. So, and I may have photographs of them wearing them, I'm not too sure, but they didn't pop out to me all that easy if I have. Now, the next upcycle project I've got is another dress I bought from the Freeman's catalogue. Again, on this photograph there's going to be a before and after. This dress didn't look nice on me at all. I think I got a little bit excited because it was red with white spots and I was thinking, oh, Mandy Shaw, because I'm a Mandy Shaw fan who's a designer of red work embroidery, but I ended up making a little t-shirt with a little tie knot on it and I got way more wear, and I actually managed to get a headband out of it as well. So yes, I really enjoyed making that. Now, and these are going back older and older the further back I go. Now, I had a super dry vest, really loved it. It ended up with little holes, stains. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Sorry about that. A little bit of dust probably got down my throat, chatting away in here. So this is my craft room, so I can see a bit of dust actually going through the air now. So the next one, obviously, I was just telling you, was my super dry vest. I wore this a lot. Do you know, it just really used to look nice on me. I had this actually before my youngest son was born, and my youngest son is 15. I remember on that, I wore it the holiday that I wore it on, and actually my other two boys, they were very tiny. I remember that actually on that holiday my middle son said his first word. He said hola, hola, because we was in the Canary Islands and the waiters were saying hello bambino, so no, hola bambino every time we went to the restaurant. So he learned hola, he was saying hola la la. Well, you know, he's 17, he's going to be 18 this year in November, so that's how long I had this vest. But yeah, I think, you know, I had fun memories. My eldest son was 3, and yeah, it was a lovely holiday, really, really lovely. And then I wore this vest for years, and I just wasn't ready to say goodbye, so I made a pair of pants with it. And yeah, I love those pants. They did end up wearing out in the end. I did wear them so much, unfortunately, but you know, the fabric was very old, wasn't it? And I'd worn and washed it a lot. Now, I found this funny photograph actually of me holding the pants when I was showing them on YouTube, and that's back when I used to bring Rafe in my videos, because every time I used to sit down in front of the camera he used to pine and whine at the door. So I know I should have just ignored him, but I used to bring him in, and I had a little baby dining seat here with him sitting in, and I continued bringing him in here, but he started leaping out and I was worried about his safety, and it was getting a bit distracting and I was forgetting what I was talking about, so I had to stop doing it, unfortunately. Now, as I say, the dog things that I've mentioned, to be eligible for a prize you can't make something for a dog, it has to be for a human. I don't know if underwear would be the same. It says a garment. I suppose, you know, it is a garment, isn't it? Or would it be classed as an accessory? Now, another bit of upcycling I've done. Now, I'm sure this wouldn't qualify for a prize if I was to enter this, but I used an old shower curtain that had gone a little bit manky at the bottom, and I turned it into a cape so I could colour my family's hair and things if they ever wanted their hair coloured. No one is having me colour their hair at the moment, but yeah, but it was a good use. Instead of throwing it away, I just used the nice decent bit and put some little snap fasteners on it. Again, that something like that, I guess, wouldn't win you any prizes because it's not really a garment, is it? But it's something I have upcycled, so I'm just trying to give you lots of ideas. Now, many years ago, this was probably, excuse me, might have been in about 2018, 2019, I was given a t-shirt to wear in a dance, in a show, figure skating, and the outfit was very unflattering. We had this hideous long brown tiered skirt on, back when tiered wasn't even fashionable, and we were given this really oversized orange t-shirt with a snake on it. And actually some of the even a coach, which I'm a bit disappointed with actually, when we tried our outfits on, and I came in the corner, I was actually laughed at. Right, that's how bad it was. I was laughed at even by the professionals, right? So I thought, I'm not having that, this looks hideous. So anyway, I've got a before and after picture, not very flattering photographs at all, but you can see how impressed I look on the before, and I look a little bit happier on the after. I basically made it more fitted. Now I probably could have got away with it really, because my t-shirt, I think because I was an adult in it, because some of them are children in the show, their t-shirts were kid sizes, but mine was ridiculously big. So yeah, I made myself look a bit more feminine. Then again, this is a shirt of my husband's, and I cut it up and I made an apron for my youngest son. Now this is my youngest son. Now I'm not entirely sure how old he is in this photograph, but he's actually 15 now, and I've got some photographs of him in the kitchen. Now this must have been before we had our proper hob installed, because he's standing at an electric hob here, an induction one that you plug in from Lakeland. So yeah, and he stood there having his photograph taken, and I'd made him a chef hat as well. So again, that it's a bit of a grey area whether that would fall into a garment, an apron. But again, if you know you've got an old men's shirt and you want to make an apron, it can be done. It's something I've done, and you know, you can do lots with shirts. I've made a shirt cushion for my dad for Father's Day, and the pocket is a great place to put a remote control. But again, not a garment, would not qualify for this challenge. So now I've got to do one of my own, and I will admit I've already done it. So I can't see my photograph on here, but oh well, I can see it now. Now I've got a Slytherin jumper, and a Slytherin is one of the Harry Potter houses, and yeah, and basically it's got something on it, some kind of bleach or something. I don't know if you can see that on the photograph, but right in the front, totally ruined it. So what I ended up doing, I'm going to show it you, but obviously I'm not going to share this on social media until the 31st, but I don't know if I'm going to be eligible for a prize, in all honesty, because I'm, you know, a part of this challenge doing this side of things, so I don't know if I can be entered. I don't know. Anyway, I cut along the white line. Having thought about it, I could have cut slightly below the white line because of obviously seam allowance, but I cut on the white line, and then I cut out, as you know, the minimum I could to get those stains out, and I basically sewed it back together. So I popped that photograph in. Now I must admit, this jumper was too long for my tastes anyway, and I really like the length so much more. I'd actually consider raising the length before, but then I ended up getting these stains on it. Maybe I've done some cleaning in it, and yes, I really like the length of it now. And I've got the jumper here. So I'm all ready for Halloween, aren't I, if I want to wear it for Halloween. And I have noticed there is they just look like, I don't know if you can see, it looks like there's, I don't know if it's a shadow, a couple of dark stains on it, but they're not white stains. So yeah, it doesn't look quite as bad now. The only thing I'd say is now I haven't pressed this, by the way, I have a seam line going across the back there now, but you know what, it doesn't look bad, does it? And yeah, I could actually, you know, wear this a bit better. Maybe not, you know, wouldn't go out to dinner in it or anything, do you know what I'm saying? But even when I wear this in the house, because that's probably the only place I do wear it, I might feel a little bit nicer in it because it doesn't look so long and big on me, because it did end up taking I did have to take a little bit of the width out then at the side. So yeah, it just fits a little bit nicer on the side than it did before. But I haven't got any photographs of me wearing it. I have been on YouTube wearing it. Maybe when I was talking about Harry Potter dolls. I was basically sharing Harry Potter dolls during my Stitch Diaries, and then basically because I was sharing so much to do with dolls and things, and it wasn't all necessary making things for the dolls, I separated the videos. But in the early days they were kind of a bit mixed in together, but now they're usually separate, but they creep in here and there. So I hope you've liked seeing all of my ideas for upcycling. Now if you decide to do it, don't forget to post your before and after photograph on the 31st. Have a look on the screen whether it's just Instagram or Facebook, because I need to find that out when I'm at editing stage. I'll find that out. And remember to use the hashtag SewUpcycle22, and you have to tag Becky and tag Notes from the Sewing Room, that's got underscores in between the words, and at So Little Time, and there's dots between the words, and that's Becky and Karen. So right, I'm going to quickly show you something I've made before I go. Just thought I'll throw that in there. Right, I'll just grab it. Now I've got a brand new pattern, and it is called the McCall's M8298. I'll pop that there for you to see. Now there's different patterns on there you can make. It looks like there's some gloves, a bag, a skirt, a jumper. I think that's another version of that bag, and a hat. Now I have made the hat. So yeah, I'll just have a look on the back. Yes, there's a top, a skirt, a hat, gloves, a belt. I didn't mention that. Oh, and 2 bags. So one just looks like it's got a shorter handle and it's wider, and the other one's got a longer handle and it's a bit skinnier. So yes, those are 2 different bags. That's the leaner one and that's the wider one there. So yes, I have made the hat, and it's a slouchy beanie hat, and it's actually C, it says. Now have I got the pattern pieces here? Now I was a little bit naughty, I haven't traced my pattern. There's a small, medium and a large, and I decided to go for the medium. It does tell you the measurements for your head on here. See, it's a small size is 21.5 inches, medium is 22.5, and large is 23.5. So I just decided to go for the medium. I wasn't quite as big as medium, but I don't think my head, I tried to do it right, you know, round the down here and round. I didn't do it round here. Maybe I measure a bit smaller that way, but I kind of measured where I'd be wearing it. So that's the bit that sits on the head. I've not wore this hat yet, so I'm not entirely sure how you did. And then what I did, basically the rest of it is just a rectangle, big rectangle that you end up you cut on the fold. You have to mark quite a few areas on it. You make pleats, 3 pleats on the side to give it a ruffled look. Then you basically fold all that together and sew down the long side. Then you fold that rectangle in on itself so the raw edges are together, so you've basically got the right side on the inside of the hat on the outside, and you basically sew the head bit on. So it's a bit of a cylinder kind of thing, and I could do with one of those heads actually. Do you know, like I've got I've got a mannequin because I didn't want to model my handmade underwear, so I bought a mannequin. It's literally from the waist it gave us such a giggle. If you've been with me a long time, didn't it? And just down to like the thighs, so it's just like, you know, the middle bit. And oh, my family, they think I'm crazy, but you can get a head, like a polystyrene head and things, so that would be good for demonstrating. But look, that is basically what it looks like. And you do a bit of top stitching, if you can see a slight line going round, and you can see that's where you do the pleats, but then the pleats, they join together, but it's meant to give this like slouchy look. Now I'm not quite sure how you wear this. Now on the picture she looks like she's got it like this, but I don't think I'd wear it like this, I don't know. She looks like she's got that right in the middle there. Her head, I don't know if she's got something, she's either got a longer head than I have, or she's got something stuffed under there, but but yeah, but that's kind of, she looks like she's got all the gathering. It looks very straight and big at the top like that, and she's got all the gathering here. I think I look like a foreign lady, I think, in it. But I think you could wear it. It looks more like a turban, do you think? And then I'll fold it over here. I think I like it folded, a bit like your typical beanie, folded like that. And I like that slouch. That's what I wanted. I didn't want a tight beanie. I wanted like a beanie kind of look around here, and I wanted this like slouch at the back. That's how I kind of envisioned it. Now if you're wondering about this fabric, what do you think it looks like? Can I wear this? Like, I can always wear it ice skating and things. Just, it's not very heavyweight, this jersey fabric, so I could like wear it and not get too hot. You know, if you like, once you put your hat on, you don't want to take it off because you've got hat hair. Yeah, I could like leave it on. But you've seen this fabric before. Now I have made another undie sweater that I've mentioned in this video. I made the short sleeve with the kind of hat collar. I've actually made the undie sweater twice in a long sleeve version. The first one I made was just like a brushed kind of jersey. I didn't have all that much give, with a pinstripe in it. Didn't have all that much give, but I got that out of a remnant of another make, what was a kit from Owl and the Sewing Cat, to make like a throw over thing. I had this left, which was fantastic. And then the other one I made in this glittery fabric, which I actually bought not the spring just gone, the spring before, because I was trying to get ahead buying something glittery for Christmas, and I made basically glittery undie sweater in it, and I've wore that a number of times. I went out for Christmas dinner in it, I went out for my birthday dinner this year in it. Yeah, I've been out for curries in it. It survived the curries, and yeah, it's lovely. It's glittery. I don't know if that really shows you in this, but we are heading into winter. I know hats aren't the most flattering of clothes items, are they? But yeah, I just, you need to wear them, don't you? So let me grab the fabric so I can show you what it's like and how it moves. I do like making hats. I've made the military hat by Fiona Hesford. That's really nice, and I thought that was in here actually, but yeah, I can't see it at the moment. And I knit and crochet as well, so I've knitted this hat. This was a lovely hat that I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the designer. If I can find out, I'll pop it on the screen. I'm sorry if I don't find that out or that easy. This has been on YouTube before, or I posted it on social media, but it was in the Molly Makes magazine, and yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? So yeah, I do, you know, I like unusual hats basically. So but anyway, this is the fabric. So that's a small piece of it. I'm actually thinking of making, because obviously I'm telling you I do doll diaries, I'm thinking of making something for Barbie in this, but I could still actually make things for myself, because I don't know how much I ordered of it, but look, I've got loads and loads. Looks quite a wide fabric. Yeah, I'll fold it in half. I've actually got the label on this, so I might be able to tell you a bit more about it. I think it actually got reduced from when I bought it. It was quite cheap. Well, inexpensive, not cheap. So it's that's double the width, and then I'll show you how much I've got left. It's insane, isn't it? I am thinking of making a jersey dress in it. What, maybe something like, I couldn't make this out, but what it is, I'm going to have a look at some of my jersey dress patterns and see, you know, if any of them they recommend doing it in a light jersey. But I've got so much of this. I could make a Billy sweater dress with it, which I've made before, but I made that in a sweatshirt in fabric. Obviously I made the Nina Lee Southank sweater dress. That was like you know, a sweatshirt in fabric as well. So yeah, I've made jersey dresses, other jersey dresses, but they've been more like Ponte Roma. They're jersey dresses with a bit more structure. Things like I've made the Coco by Tilly and the Buttons, where that's got kind of holds its shape, it goes a little bit out. So yes, so yeah, maybe it'd be good to try another jersey dress. One, I know you could wear like a slinky one, but I'm thinking like a jumper one. I wonder if it would work, but I think it'd be lovely. And I've got the hat to match. I'd have the hat to match the jumper and the hat to match the dress. Wear my boots with it. It would look rather nice, wouldn't it? So anyway, so thank you so much for joining me today. If you've really liked what you've seen today and you're not a subscriber already, I'd really appreciate another subscriber. That would be really nice. And if you liked this video, please hit the like button. I don't normally ask for this, but yeah, I'd really appreciate it. And yes, and I will see you in my next Stitch Diary video. Or for you doll people, because some of you watch my Stitch Diaries and my doll diaries. So yes, I'll see you maybe in the doll diary video, whatever comes next. But just to let you know, sewers, Poppy to Fry, I'm going to be starting the club Saturday. So I'm getting my first, there's going to be a project I get every Saturday for 6 weeks. And I haven't got band practice for 2 Saturdays. So I should be able to make the first 2 weeks in that weekend, hopefully. I'm going to try and keep up with this club. So yes, so that's going to be exciting. The other weeks, the other 4 weeks, I will be back at band practice, but I'm going to be starting 45 minutes later. So it means I've got a chance to download the project and get things printed out before I actually go to band practice. And I think that makes such a difference that I've got those ready to go for when I get back, because it's lunchtime by the time I get back and things. So yes, anyway, so thank you again, and hopefully you'll come back and see me soon. Okay then, bye.